Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the daonlyahyah. And of course, as you've seen, Arsenal and Manchester United now do share a similar record. Now, for lots of y'all who don't know, Arsenal, first of all, welcome to the 100 club. Finally, somebody has been inducted into the Hall of Fame of Club 100. But yes, Arsenal, just like Manchester United, doing it over the period of October 2016 to August 2018, are the only two clubs in English history to be not concede over 3 goals in 100 consecutive games. Now that is a beautiful achievement, not only by United, but by Arsenal for doing it as well. And this just shows the long-lived rivalry, but history that both of these clubs have. From Alex Ferguson to Arsene Wenger to the FA Cups of 14 each. Each club have now, you can talk about history of England, and I think Arsenal is up there now with United, like Liverpool. Now, a lot of people might think this is not a good achievement, but sometimes, because that is just people hating on Arsenal and don't want them to do well. But to be honest, like reports are reading here, Arsenal have finally done it. It started the last time Arsenal conceded on 3 occasions in the Premier League clash was with Luton, December 5th, 2023. And they scored 4 goals, so they still got 3 points. And then they also was breaching 3 occasions. 3-1 Carabao Cup defeat to West Ham. Bro, Arsenal is in a very, very good place at the moment. And to be honest, they can probably break the record if they win the next couple games. So they're actually in a period in which they can break a record. Now, you can't really hate on that. You can't. No, people might hate watch. People might not want other clubs to be successful because, you're a fan of another. But when you see history being made like this, you have to respect it. And you have to respect the guys that are involved in it. Let's not forget, a couple years ago, Saka was on the end of some very serious abuse. You have people that were talking about Gabriel like he was one of the worst centre-backs to ever be bought in the Premier League. You have even if you have a lot of people who would speak about him, oh, he's too rash to be as good. Arsenal will never be good. Remember when people were speaking about players like what's his name? Ben White. Players that weren't even, people were saying, why is Arteta playing Ben White at right back? I mean, Ben White isn't starting right now, but I'm just saying, like, Arsenal have developed their own style. Arsenal have developed many ways in which they can play, because we've seen them play physical like a set-piece team like Stoke, and then we've seen them play games where they've played teams off the pitch. Let's not be delusional with it. When they're ready to turn up the heat and play good football, they're actually good at what they do. So we can't really hate on this achievement. So I just wanted to give them a special shout out, not only because, of course, they share this achievement with the big boys, but also the fact that they are making themselves even more favorites for the title. Now, as much as you might think also, as fans that want to hate, we may say, hey, Arsenal still not going to win the title, fear. But when a team is consistently starting to show you that this is a build-up, because first, it started them not conceding over 2 goals, over 3 goals. Now they're only conceding 1 goal or none. So they moved from being a team that wanted to be expansive, wanted to be exciting, wanting to be the team to show teams that they can score the most goals, to now understanding moments, to now understanding when they can go and win games, when they can go and attack teams, when they can go and not be the best team on the pitch, but still get the results. And that is a key component for teams that have longevity of winning. Now, as much as I may criticize Arteta, and I still don't believe he's one of the top managers in the world, I do respect him for doing a lot of things. You know, as much as people talk about Pep Guardiola and say Pep have changed the Premier League, Arteta has brought back retro-type football. Because of Arsenal's physicality over the last season or season and a half to two, because Arsenal is a big team that has started to pay more attention to set pieces, brought in set pieces, coaches, not only a coach, had doing different things, different from a lot of different coaches, and people used to criticize Arteta. People used to criticize Arteta. And look at the Premier League now. You see a lot of teams actually trying to score more from set pieces than they are from open play. Everyone now has a long throw set play. Everyone now is setting up set pieces in a way where they have proper set piece coaches. Everyone now is trying to score the first goal from breaking it off from a set piece. And that has always been a part of football. Set pieces has always been a major part. But Arsenal and Arteta, because of the physicality of his team, everyone on Arsenal team big. Everyone on think about it. Left back, Calafiori big. Left centre back, Gabriel massive. Saliba massive. Timber may be a bit small, but physically a machine. In the midfield, you have Rice. Zubimendi might look short on TV, but he's not that small of a specimen. Odegaard still have good size. Saka might look small on TV, but these guys are 5'10", 5'11", weighted. They are good physical players. Striker, you have Gyökeres. Like Arsenal have a lot of massive players. Mourinho ain't no joke. Havertz ain't no joke. And even those that are small are like they are physically strong. So they have a good balance and they have a good team. And we have to kind of start to realize that they have good momentum. But they have seen a question going around on social media with them comparing Manchester United front three to Arsenal, saying that Manchester United have a better attack than Arsenal. Now, this is what I'll say about this. Based on individual talent, I think yes, United does. And I might take fire for a lot of that, even after I've been speaking good about Arsenal just before. But Arsenal, let's be honest, based on what we've seen, Sesko, his ceiling is going to be a lot higher than Gyökeres. And y'all know I like Gyökeres as well. But Sesko's ceiling is higher than Gyökeres. We can already see it on the games. We can see Sesko at 25 years old is going to be a machine to deal with. Right now, he's a 22, 23-year-old striker. Give him a year to settle in the league and let's see next year. And also Gyökeres. Baby, Gyökeres need a year in the league, just like some players, and then he might be a specimen as well. But I just don't think, just because Arsenal have the ball a lot, it really suits Gyökeres that much. But yeah, Sesko, for me, his ceiling is higher than Gyökeres. But let's not kid ourselves. Gyökeres, based on their careers so far, has more goals. Now, we can say league, whatever, but based on what we know, the stats merchants will say Gyökeres don't have as much goals. Fair. Now, Sesko don't have as much goals. Fair. But based on the ceiling, talent ceiling, let us just be honest and all agree that Sesko have a higher ceiling. Because even Arsenal's scouting report did say that. They went after Gyökeres because he was the finished article. Now, let's talk about Cunha, Martinelli, Trossard. One point at a time, Trossard at Brighton was up there with the top goal scorers in the Premier League. Let's not kid ourselves about that either. So let's give Jack his jacket, because this is a proper analysis of what's going on. We're not bantering here. We all know how we do on this channel. Cunha, though, when it comes to quality-wise, is better than Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli. Let's not kid ourselves. We know talent IQ, so everybody know we're watching Cunha, we're seeing something special coming into play, and he's still raw talent in my opinion. Now, when it comes to the numbers, Trossard have better numbers in the Premier League than Cunha. So when we look at the statistics merchants again, they will pull that up. But Trossard have more goals. But when we come to the quality in the player, Cunha, we know is better. Now the big talking point will be now, and the big argument that comes about this whole situation is with the Mbeumo and the Saka. Now 2 top players. For me, you wipe out though. I would put the 2 of them up top against any of the other players I mentioned, and they for me are the best out of the bunch, no doubt. Based on numbers, based on what they bring to the game, and both of them are similar players. Now Saka just for me have a bit more in terms of what he can do on the ball, and maybe we've not seen Mbeumo have the sort of situation or scenarios in order for him to showcase if he's that sort of flair of a player. But for what I see with Bukayo Saka, he can do a bit of what Cunha does, maybe not to the flair and the extent to what Cunha does, but he's also a statistic machine when it comes to what Mbeumo does by putting good numbers. Over the last season, he has been putting good numbers, and he's improved season by season, just like the Mbeumo trajectory. So for me at this point, Saka just tips it over Mbeumo as a total package. But in terms of player comparison, I don't think they're that far from each other. I just think that one is a bit more of a footballer in terms of he's an overall baller, and one is more of a statistic merchant where he's more efficient within the Mbeumo. So it's for me, there's differences, but there's real positives in between the 2 of them. So to answer your question, whose attack do I agree with this statement here? No, I don't agree with this statement. I think at the moment, based on what we see, Arsenal have players that have done it before. Maybe not in... Yes, Arsenal have players the same, in same motions where they have both players on both wings that have done it. And I just think Saka tips it a bit over Mbeumo. Cunha tips it over Trossard and Martinelli. But then the Sesko and the Gyökeres is what kind of, for me, I just tip Gyökeres because Gyökeres have done it a bit more. And both of them are coming from outside of the league. So it's just a fair analysis to make it based on what both of them have done outside of the league. And based on what they've done outside of the league, Gyökeres at the moment is the Glock 9. Sesko at the moment is the shooting pellets, rubber bullets. But he'll get there. He can have his Glock, but he's just not the Glock 9. He's just the rubber bullets at the moment. Not real ammunition, rubber. But it's alright, Sesko. We'll get there, son. But yes, people, always, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the page. If you like the video, please drop your comments below. Give me a like the video, dislike the video. I couldn't keep, just engage with a like or dislike. Comment, drop your comments, how you've been doing. Subscribe to the page so we can continue bringing you these great analysis going forward. Have a good day. Take care. Ciao.